Good morning and welcome to my channel. It's Lorraine here. I hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm doing collage work on some of the pages in the Romantique journal. As you can see, I'm just going with the flow. I've not got a plan of action. I'm just picking up scraps and book pages that I've got on my desk and just putting them in this page. Here I'm using some vintage French book page and I'm just tearing. I don't want straight edges unless it's on the edge of the page, so I'm just using my glue book over the other side of the screen that you can't see, and putting it on the page. So I'm just, oops, I've torn that page. Never mind, I can just sort it out this way. So there we are. Get that a little bit fiddly when it's torn, but you won't notice it at all once I've done it. So there we go. That's that page. I wish you could see the other side of this desk with all the scraps of paper that I've got going on. Look, I've got my little box of bits out. Here we go. What else can I put on now? What have I got? Oh, these are nice pages for collage work. These scraps are from pages from antique papery that I've used. I use them quite a lot in a lot of my journals, and they have such a romantic-ish style to them. I quite like using them. So I'm just going to again glue this, and like I said, there's no format. I'm just going with the flow. Just get my cloth here because my fingers start getting all sticky from the glue, so I'll just use the cloth and wipe off the excess glue. What else have I got in here? Let's have a look. Oh, that's nice. I like this paper. It's a little bit like a William Morris, but quite a pale paper. It's something that I think it was from a 12 by 12. I'm not sure where it came from, that. But it's quite nice. Quite a neutral, but the pattern's lovely on it. I think what I intend to do is, once I've collaged, I'm going to do maybe a couple of pages in each signature, and I can then put something, pockets or another flip or I don't know, journal cards on top of the collage work. But this is a really good way of making a page look more interesting than just a blank page. And it's a fantastic way of using up all your scraps. My fingers are all sticky from the glue. What else have I got? Let's have a see what else I've got. That's pretty. And the colours match as well. I'm just lucky really that I've got colours that blend. I think when you use a lot of neutral colours, then you're quite lucky that you can mix and match them when you're doing collage work or layering. I never used to do collage work, and I have found that I really enjoy doing it. I do it when I'm making bases, masterboards, because I make the collage pages and then stamp or print on them. This paper, that little bit that I've just put on there, is it's the vintage paper from, if you watched my last video, I had some music paper, some vintage music paper that I use, and these are the offcuts of it. And the little square or oblong tag that I put on first, I've just handwritten Paris and the year on there, and on this one I'm just distressing around the edges, and then I'm going to use my stamp, this stamp. This is a Tim Holtz stamp, and I'm just going to stamp quite delicately on that scrap of vintage music paper. It's just the edge, you know, like the margins, and it just adds a little bit of interest to that plain paper, but it's beautiful paper and it's a shame not to use it in collage work, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just using it, and I'm not bothered if there's spaces that I haven't filled in on the page, because the paper underneath is coffee dyed, so it's got its own look to it. And then once I may leave it just like that, or I may decorate it, I don't know, we'll see. So let's find another page to use. No, that's the centre, so no, what about this one? It's difficult to do because of the button that's on that envelope at the back. I'll have to work around that. So again, I'm using some of the antique papery paper. I'm just tearing the edges again. No, upside down, put it upside down, because then you've got the straight edge along the straight edge of the page. There we go. My glue book's all tacky, and if I don't change it, then the front of the digital that I'm using gets all sticky, and it makes all the page sticky. So I'll just turn it over. There we go. So today, it's a Friday today, and it's the Carnival weekend. I did speak about it in my last video, but it's Carnival weekend here in Greece. Big party before the Lent and the fasting starts. So tonight we're going into the main town. I did mention it. I'm sorry if you've heard me say this before, but we're going into the main town where they have carnival. Lots of people dress up in fancy dress. They're closing the road to traffic, and they'll have street stalls all down the main street. All the cafe bars and tavernas will be open, so it'll be a nice night. So I'm looking forward to that. So here is, I think that's from Artemis, that little scrap I'm using there. But the colour matches so well with the antique papery that I used on the opposite side. Even tiny scraps, look. Don't throw them away, because if you do end up doing collage work, you can do this, this type of collage work where you just put everything down on paper without any planning or thought behind it. Put it on an A4 sheet, or you can use book pages, or you can use magazine pages, and just glue everything down, and then you can cut them up into tags or journal cards, you know, and then just put something of interest, a butterfly or a flower on top of the collage, or labels, little word tags, and you can make your own tags, and they're very personal to you because you've made the collage. Great way of recycling scraps. And they're not going to landfill then, are they? I have talked before about this island. One part that I really don't like about living here is we have no recycling at all, which is absolutely obscene in this day and age, that we don't recycle. So we try and recycle as much as we can here. Like if we buy anything in a jar, we reuse the jar. We try not buying things in plastic packaging, but it's so difficult to be able to do that. Paper, as you see, I recycle my scraps here. I don't throw much away. Things that I don't use, we tend to use on, we have a log burner, so we tend to use them on there to, you know, to help start the fire. And with compost, we have a compost in the garden, so, you know, we try and compost what we can. So again, adding another piece of the antique paper here and bringing the blue here into the bottom of the paper so that it all coordinates. Glue stick, I need to change the page, my glue page again, because everything's getting covered in glue. A little book page, I think. If you're doing this, you could, if you wanted to, you could distress the edges of all the scraps that you're going to use. It makes them more defined on the paper, but for this project I wasn't overly bothered about that. Excuse me again, still got a croaky voice, haven't I? My croaky throat. So, I'm trying this out. I'm doing a voiceover on this video. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I've been having a bit of a nightmare trying to get used to my new laptop. So hopefully this will work. So I'm doing the voice recording on my phone whilst watching the video on my laptop. So hopefully it'll work. I'm too old for new technology, really. I said that yesterday. I went in the computer shop for something different, and I was chatting to the guy and he told me off. He said, "You're never too old to learn new things." And I guess not. I always used to tell my kids that you should learn something new every day, and then the day hasn't been a waste. So hopefully I've learnt this voiceover technique. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll try. And if it doesn't work, then I've just sat chatting to myself for half an hour, however long this video is. I've forgotten how long it is now. 25 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see. But I have to try and learn new things and do interesting things on my channel. Otherwise I'll lose you all. Oops, don't want it there. I've decided, I've changed my mind, didn't want it there. My fingers are getting all sticky now, and it's difficult tearing at the paper because it's sticking to my fingers. I should stop the video, I guess, and wipe my fingers. I'll go and wash my fingers in the bathroom. So I think I've been printing more stuff off to go in the journal, and I'm not sure, because I said I was just going to go with the flow. I didn't have a plan, and then what I find is I find myself floundering and not knowing what to do. I think it always works out in the end, but sometimes I get a little bit anxious because I haven't got a plan, even though I don't plan down to the smallest of details. You know, if I've got a massive idea about what I'm doing, I think I'll work better like that. So what I've done this morning is I've printed off some images and some more papers to make journal cards and tags with. So hopefully I'll have some nice things going on in the journal, and we can perhaps journal together or craft together. There we go, I found some pinks. They don't look pink on this camera. I hope they do by the time I've finished doing the recording and loaded it to YouTube. Hopefully it will. So that's another little bit of antique papery, and it's got a little pink and red on there. I don't know why I always class pinks. I always think of pinks and reds when I'm thinking of doing romantic stuff, you know, journal wise or card making. Pinks and reds. I guess it's just the traditional Valentine-ish thing. These are nice pieces of scrap, these roses. I quite like those. Again, roses, pinks, reds, romance. Oh, we watched another episode of Marie Antoinette last night. I'm loving it. It's really nice. So her and Louis finally, oh, I shan't tell you because you might be watching it, you might be behind me, but I am really enjoying it. It's quite good. The costumes and the settings they're wonderful. There we go. Just a little, what do we need there? Just a little bit there. Oh. I've got a little bit of coffee dyed paper there. What do I think? Yep, we're going for it. Just to break up that book page. There we go. So I'm waiting for my hubby. He's gone swimming this morning. Can't believe it, can you? February, he's gone swimming. He does usually swim every month of the year, at least once a month in the winter. Oh, I cancelled the video, so I've had to restart it. So sorry about that little jump in the video there. So this is the back page, almost the back page of this signature. So I'm just going to use some greens and blues on this page. And this paper that I'm putting on now, this like a fleur-de-lis pattern. I'm not sure it's a William Morris, but it's a freebie from Andrea Artimaze, and it's lovely. I think actually it was a Christmas kit that she gave, but of course it can be used at any time. It's not necessarily for Christmas. Oh, there we go. I love it. It's really, I've used it again and again in projects. It makes lovely backing papers for greetings cards. There's that button again. I need to be careful that I don't tear the page. Not sure about that. Am I putting that in? I'm not sure. Not sure. And this is some 12 by 12 paper that I have in my stash, and it's double-sided. I'm doing it again on the other side because I've torn it the wrong way and I ended up with the white showing, and I don't like that. So this is like I said, it's a double-sided paper, and you can't really see the colour very well, but there's quite a bit of green in it, greens and browns, like a coffee colour, so it matches everything in there. So there we go. No, not that side. I was trying to use that up, and that's too blue. Can't use that, it's too blue. What else? What else have we got, Lorraine? What else? Shh. Where's that other? Nope. Nope. Oh. This is a nice piece, but it's quite heavy cardstock, is this? So it's nice just there at the bottom. I like that. So we'll have that there. There we go. And need one final bit. What we've got, we'll just bring that William Morris paper over, just to tie in with the other side of the page. Just this tiny scrap, just there we go. I like the glue stick that I'm using because it doesn't adhere things straight away. You've got a few, not long, but you've got a few minutes just to reposition things if you need to. There's some more of that vintage paper from the music sheets. The colour's perfect for this collage page. It's got like a green hue to it, so it's really nice. And back to this. This is from Line Dot Arrow, from Natalia, from Line Dot Arrow. And I've just pulled off a little piece that's got quite a bit of green in it. So, will it go? Will it go? Yes, it'll go. So, I think that's going to be it when we've done this one. And then that page is complete. Oh no, what have I found? I found some more of the music paper, and that can go just there on the bottom of the page. There we go. I like that page. I think that's my favourite one from the collage work we've done today. So, how many is that? 4 pages. We've done 4 pages. Very good.